Hello, this is Robert Perkins, the immigration professor, and this is my video on H-2B visas. It's part one of a two-part series on visas that don't necessarily require a degree or college degree to get the visa. We have a series of informational videos on our website, and you can see all of them on the site at www.immigration-professor.com. Don't forget the dash. If you have a specific question about your case, please call our offices at 310-384-0200. We have offices in several states, and we have an extensive attorney referral network that we operate all across the United States. So for all your immigration needs, please contact us. So again, this video is about H-2B visas. This is a visa that there's a few requirements for, and we're going to go over them. One is that you have to show that there is a shortage of labor for the job. In order to do that, you have to advertise the job, and you have to demonstrate through, submitting resumes and so forth of people that applied that there weren't enough people to meet your labor shortage. So that's the first hurdle in getting an H-2B. The second thing, and that's done with the Labor Department. So that's done with the Labor Department. And hopefully they agree with you that there's a shortage, and they certify that there is a shortage. So that's step one. Step two is to go to immigration, and you have to show that that need is temporary. What do they mean by temporary? I actually had to pull out my notes here. There's some specific terms that they use in defining it. One is a one-time occurrence. For example, you have a contract to produce widgets, and you're a widget manufacturer. All of a sudden, your contract, you need a higher volume of widgets, so you need more workers. It's kind of a one-time, 3-month occurrence. So that might meet the definition of temporary. So one-time occurrence is one thing. A seasonal need, agricultural workers are the big example, although there's a separate visa for that. But let's say, for example, that you operate water parks, and in the summer there's a seasonal need for more lifeguards and people to monitor the water parks to make sure the kids are safe. So that would be a seasonal need. A peak load need, depending on the load and type of your business, the flow of the business, that might be demonstrated, or an intermittent need. So those are the kind of temporary needs that immigration accepts. So this is a two-part process to get this visa. Now, the H-2B visa is used a lot for unskilled labor. There's a couple of advantages to it. One is that it can be for any type of job for which you can demonstrate this. There's no specific jobs that it's limited to, so it could be for any job that you can make these showings. And then the other nice advantage of it is that you can file an H-2B for unnamed beneficiaries. What do I mean by that? And multiple beneficiaries. So I'll put multiple here. What do you mean by that, Robert? Well, what I mean by this is, let's say you're the employer that's got a need for the summer lifeguards, and you don't know who you're going to hire. You're going to go down to South America because you think the best lifeguards are down there. You can file one of these saying, hey, I operate multiple water parks. I need 60 lifeguards for the summer. These are the qualifications for the job. And you can then go and you can file the case with the Labor Department and with immigration, and then you can go do your recruiting, and as long as these people meet the qualifications for the job, and of course you've made those required demonstrations, you can hire multiple people with the same petition. So that makes this visa very efficient economically when the employer does have multiple job openings in terms of legal fees and such. Then it's a good visa. So that's a big advantage. Again, the big advantage is to visa any job, and multiple unnamed beneficiaries can be. Now, there's some disadvantages to this visa that I'm also going to get to in a minute. However, I want to mention again that you can see all of our videos, informational videos in immigration topics on our website, www.immigration-professor.com. Or if you have a specific question about your case, you can contact our offices at 310-384-0200. We have offices in several states, and where we don't, we have an extensive attorney referral network of offices of very qualified immigration attorneys who can help you if there's a need for help locally. So again, I was going to mention some of the disadvantages of this visa. You know, because you have to do a lot for this visa, you have to advertise, you have to craft the job, you have to show the shortage, and then you got to show, you got to show this sort of seasonal need, and they're very strict about that, or one-time need. You know, if you have just one person or something for this type of job, it could be, just very economically inefficient. So it's not very economical. I'll put a little X, maybe a little red X for that to show not very economical when you have, maybe just one person that's doing it, or one person or for a short period. One thing also, and that kind of dovetails into why another disadvantage of that is that the visas are limited to 1 year. Provided that you can show that your short-term need is 1 year, that you're not filling a permanent position or anything. So they're very short-term. You can get extensions for up to 3 years, but every time you get an extension, you again have to show the shortage, and you again have to show the short-term needs. So you can get a maximum of 3 years, but only if you can continue to make those showings. The final disadvantage of this visa is that there could be problems at the embassy with the person getting the visa. Let me explain that a little bit further. For every visa except 3, I'm not going to talk about the exceptions here, the person that's applying for the visa at the embassy has to show that they do not intend to immigrate. And there's actually a presumption that they do, that they're going to stay or stay illegally or work illegally, that they have to overcome. And that means that the embassy can deny the visa. So you can go through this advertising step, you can go through showing immigration that, that this need is temporary, you can make all that showing, and still an applicant can be denied at the embassy simply because the consular officer thinks or just has a feeling, it's very discretionary, that that person may intend to permanently immigrate. They haven't overcome that presumption of immigrant intent or sort of climbed that mountain. So the H-2B, like many visas, is kind of a mixed bag. However, in my opinion, and this is just the opinion of the professor, it can be a good visa for employers that are hiring multiple people for the same position. With the same kind of requirements for that position. I'm done with this topic, and I want to mention again, first of all, I want to thank everybody for watching. You can see all of our informational videos on our website, www.immigration-professor.com, or if you need help or have specific questions about a case, call our offices at 310-384-0200. We have offices in several states and attorney referrals, good qualified immigration attorneys around the country. So thank you very much. And again, we'll get into part 2, into the J1 training and internship visa. It's another visa where the person may not necessarily need a degree as well. Thank you.